New York, the State Department appeared to backpedal on threats by President Donald Trump and the United States Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley to retaliate against countries that voted against the U.S. at the UN on Thursday morning, December 21. The UN General Assembly adopted a non-binding resolution criticizing the U.S. decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and begin the process of moving its embassy there. The resolution called upon all states to refrain from the establishment of diplomatic missions in the holy city of Jerusalem. It followed Mr. Trump's December 6 announcement that the U.S. recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and would accordingly move its embassy, currently in Tel Aviv, to the city, part of which is claimed by Palestinians. The vote was seen as a major snub to Mr. Trump and Ms. Haley, who had in effect threatened to withdraw aid to countries that voted against the U.S. In the end, as many as 128 nations voted in favor of the resolution. They included a raft of allies, among them France, Germany, and Britain. India, Pakistan, China, Russia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, Denmark, Finland, Thailand, Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, Malaysia, and Singapore were also among those who voted against the U.S. After the vote, Ms. Haley tweeted a list of countries which had abstained from or not supported the resolution, saying, "We appreciate these countries for not falling to the irresponsible ways of the UN." Earlier, in a letter to ambassadors of UN member countries, Ms. Haley wrote, "As you consider your vote, I want you to know that the President and U.S. take this vote personally. The President has requested I report back on those countries who voted against us," the letter added. This, and a subsequent reiteration of the threat by President Trump, raised eyebrows in the diplomatic community. "Pretty incredible," one diplomat told the Straits Times when asked about the letter. Mr. John O'Brien, a former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, tweeted, "Trump admin threat to retaliate against nations that exercise sovereign right in UN to oppose U.S. position on Jerusalem is beyond outrageous." The outcome in the UN leaves the White House with the conundrum of how to react. Mr. Trump has, in the past, expressed disdain for the United Nations, and there is global concern over the U.S. seeming rejection of multilateralism under his America First policy. Yet, his administration has also taken pains to cultivate UN resolutions condemning and sanctioning North Korea. Later on Thursday, State Department spokesman Heather Nauert told journalists in Washington, "The UN vote is not the only factor that the administration would take into consideration in dealing with our foreign relations and countries who have chosen to vote one way or the other." In addition, the President's foreign policy team has been empowered to explore various options going forward with other nations, however no decisions have been made. Mr. Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital was in line with his campaign promises to his political base. It was also in line with a previous resolution in the U.S. Congress which, however, previous presidents had not acted on, choosing instead to exercise a waiver on the transfer of the embassy, in essence because the issue of Jerusalem is so sensitive.